And hold on, I'm trying to. Why is it not?
I mean, even as you type, we're still live. So you say hold on, but we're already live on camera.
Well, I was just telling you, like, if you were about to say something, because I was like, I can't respond because I can't type and talk at the same time.
Okay.
And we're live.
Thanks, great.
Hey man, I know my limitations.
What's up, Internet World? We are the News 19 Nerds for another edition of Press Play. I am Michael.
I'm Leroy.
Look at that, swinging in. Great, here we go. We have a couple of topics on the docket tonight. Actually, a few topics, not a couple.
You tell them what they are because I don't really forgot.
We're going to talk about the Madden curse. Is it real?
Yeah.
I mean, is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yes, it is real.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes would say no.
That's because he broke it.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
He's the chosen one.
Fair enough.
For all the people out there who are like, this stuff is nerdy. Nerds have invaded Madden.
Well, I mean, nerds were always part of Madden.
No, I'm saying like the chosen one prophecy.
Okay.
The anointed. You know, like that, like those. Yeah.
All right.
Like Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking about that. We're going to show some love to Disney Plus. During the Super Bowl, we are a little bit of love to Disney Plus. We got a quick look at 3 new Disney Plus shows from Marvel.
Because I got a bone to pick with them.
Okay.
Yeah. We
got to look at WandaVision. We got to look at the Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki.
Yep.
We'll talk about that. And we will talk about the big the shakeup at Rockstar Games. Dan Houser left. What does it mean for the company?
No idea.
We don't know, but we're going to pontificate and act like we do.
I'm just going to ask questions.
Okay. Fair enough. So where do you want to start?
Let's start with the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl 54.
The first time in history, the Madden curse has been broken.
Yes. What is the Madden curse for those who may not know?
The Madden
you guys
curse,
in the chat probably do, but maybe we got some new people. I don't know.
So the Madden curse was this thing that people believed that if you made it to the cover of Madden, you would not have a successful career. You would either not make the playoffs or get injured or both. And until now, this is the first time. Go ahead.
Well, while you talk, I was going to look up that Polygon thing. They had the list of everything. Yeah.
So until now, no one had been on the cover, made it to the Super Bowl, not been injured, and won a Super Bowl title. It has never happened before. Yeah, that's it.
Now, you said the curse is real.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it just circumstances? It's just coincidences of whatever?
Okay. Out of all of the active players who have made it onto the cover, no one has ever made it to the Super Bowl and won? I mean, that's a curse to me. The curse is officially broken.
Now, do you say that like as a sports fan? Do you believe in like curses and whatever? Because you're a big sports fan.
I will say this.
Uh-huh.
If I was an athlete, and I know some of them will be like, no, I don't. I would say it's an honor to be on the cover, but after you look at who has been on the cover, and no one has ever made it, it probably does give you pause when you're like, I'm on the cover, and no one has won a Super Bowl. Now, Madden 18, Rob Gronkowski, made it to the Patriots made it to the Super Bowl. Gronk was injured, did not play.
Something you brought up, and somebody else brought up too, IMAX.
Yeah.
He still got hurt.
Who? Yeah.
Mahomes.
So in the story we did, Mahomes did get hurt.
Yeah.
He was out 2 games. They expected him to be out 4 games. It was 3 to 5 weeks. He sat 2 games. He had a dislocated kneecap, and he had an ankle injury before. So there was talk of how were these injuries. He came back. He lost the first game. He came back in, but he was like 35 to 32. He was still Patrick Mahomes.
So why are athletes still getting on the cover?
It's just like with anything else. You want to be the first one to do it.
The ego thing.
Oh yeah.
Just having that chip on your shoulder.
Think about it like this. So if you played high school and you were picked up to go get a full ride to a Power 5 conference school. Mm-hmm. You're the best from your area. Then if you're in Power 5, you're one of the best who got recruited. Mm-hmm. Let's say you make it to the SEC or the Big Ten. You're one of the best. To get drafted, that means you are one of elite players who has an ability that no one else has. Because the average NFL career is 2 to 3 years. Mm-hmm. So let's say you make it past that to the NFL. Not only do you make it to the NFL, you are a great player to the point where you're considered one of the elite to be on the cover of the NFL's most prestigious, the only NFL game. The only NFL game. What if you have made it this far? Why would you not be on the cover? Yeah, it's stuck.
Fair enough.
It's not just the ego thing. It's one of those things where you have succeeded at every level of your career. Why would you not think I would be the one to do it? Especially when you consider, like, because a lot of times with people ask, why would this person want to go to Detroit when they've never won a championship? Why would this person want to go here? Sometimes it's because they're drafted there. Sometimes people are like, man, I'm going to be the one to bring
do whatever.
Yeah. AKA LeBron James. Think about it. He's from Akron. Mm-hmm. He got drafted there. He left because he couldn't bring a championship there. He was upset. I understand. He went someplace he could. He came back. He didn't have to come back.
True.
He came back, and on his resume, he is the only person to bring a championship to Cleveland in the last 50 years?
It's been a minute.
Since Jim Brown. So yeah, that's why I say the Madden curse is to me a real thing. But that's also why people want to be on it.
So Rayshawn brings. I'm gonna read up a couple of comments.
I'm gonna try to get to it on my phone too, since the computer's crap.
So Damien brings up Mahomes did get injured this season, so did the Madden curse get broken? Damien also says the Super Bowl was rigged. We could talk about that, whatever. And then Rayshawn K says, "Are you talking about the same year Ray Lewis made it years after he was on the cover?" So yeah, what we're talking about is usually
the same. In other words,
during that same year,
the year he was on the cover. Because this is the thing, Brady's been on the cover, and Brady has won a Super Bowl.
Right.
It's not. I'm not saying that you can't eventually win a Super Bowl. I'm saying you're on the cover. You're announced the year the Madden comes out. You go through that entire year. Mm-hmm. You make it. Injury does not prevent you. Don't get me wrong. He was injured, so we can quibble about that part.
Yeah.
He was injured. He came back, led his team through 3 fourth quarter comebacks.
In the playoffs.
In the playoffs and postseason. We'll say postseason because he only played 2 playoff games and then the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
To win a Super Bowl. No other cover person, no other athlete has done it. And when you think about who's been on the cover, you would think, oh yeah, let's think about it like this. Tom Brady made it to the Super Bowl and they lost to the Eagles.
Yeah.
That was a good... I felt that. Thank you, Eagles. I really appreciate that.
Side note, I got to give a shout out whenever they talk about Stadia. Zayla Maru says Stadia equals GameStop.
Don't do that.
It's like...
We don't need Stadia. We need GameStop.
It's like... That hurts. As somebody who worked at GameStop for years, that hurts.
We do not need Stadia. We need GameStop. And the reason why I say that is because we need as many game outlets as we can so that we don't end up with only 3 stores we can buy games from where they all collude together and charge us $80 a game.
Yeah, you definitely want as many people as possible selling, for sure.
Because that's exactly what I feel like would happen with us. I can't see the comments because my phone is still loading because our internet down here is trash because we're basically in the basement. So yeah, that's why... Yep. So, Pajon J. Baker Mayfield thinks he's going to bring one to Cleveland. Baker may be the Manziel all over again if not careful. And that's the whole point. That bravado that these athletes have. You think about what Baker Mayfield was able to do through his career. He walked on at Texas Tech. He was not recruited. Was it Texas Tech or was it Oklahoma? No, left Texas Tech, went to Oklahoma. When you look at him, won a Heisman, first overall draft pick. He goes to Cleveland. He's in his mind. He's like, damn right, I'm gonna bring a championship. That idea, that I am going to do this. A lot of people felt that about the Women's World Cup team last year, that they were arrogant. It's like, when you're good, it's okay by saying you're good. Now, you don't want to put other people down, but they were good. And that's the athlete's mentality, that I am going to beat you. I want your best. That's why athletes don't like to see other athletes get hurt, because they want to go up against their best. So that's why they want to be on the Madden curse, and that's why you always see the best of the best on the cover.
Some of the issues that people are talking about, like not even, and this may be different, but also some of the players' legal issues came out.
Don't say
after
legal
the curse
issues. No, just don't say legal issues. Antonio Brown, the curse got Antonio Brown.
But I wasn't even talking about. I was talking about other people. I was talking about Ray Lewis. And I was talking about Michael Vick, and I was talking about all these other people and stuff that happened to them outside of football.
All I'm saying, there's a picture. He found that white jacket recently.
We're not doing that.
I'm just saying.
We're not doing that, sir. We're not doing that.
But no, you're right. There were always issues with whoever got on the cover.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but football is a violent sport. Howie Long has said this about, he was worried about his kids playing the sport because we call them hits. Howie Long has says those are collisions. So when you have the sport that is collision based, you are going to have injuries.
Yeah.
And it's coincidence, some people would say. Is it a curse? This is where you have to have your own philosophy, religion, whatever you want to call it. Did it become a curse because a couple of things happened, and then we as collective, as a fan, as a society, put this energy into the world and said, it is this way, so then it became that way? Did it fit the narrative? I don't know, but I will say this. It's never been done before.
That's true.
And so...
And why do we... It's interesting, though, right? Because there are other simulated video games out there of sports. You have football. Or, sorry, no, that's what I'm talking about. You have FIFA, but you have basketball. Now, y'all in the chat, let me know, has anybody been on the cover of NBA Live or NBA 2K, and have they won the championship in the same year?
Don't know.
I don't know. I'm not curious because I didn't do the research. I'm just curious.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. And this is gonna sound harsh. Bear with me. No one cares.
Wait a minute. Explain.
Because it's not football.
Because it's not the number one sport.
And that's why. Now, if you play FIFA, if you're a big soccer fan, if you're a big footballer fan, that's different. Nothing comes close to the numbers, ratings-wise, the amount of money, the amount of ticket sales that the NFL generates.
In America.
In America.
Yeah.
It dominates every facet of our media.
Yeah.
And that's why when you look at they're like, what about nobody cares.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to trickle it down to us, everything is funneled through football, so even people care about college football, high school football, so much so that we shoot high school football that affected our schedule for press play. So I mean, football is football. And that's the thing. We have football, it's the sport itself. And keep in mind, this is within the last 20 to 30 years. Because if you go back in our nation's history, different sports were at the height at different times. Baseball was called the Americans' national pastime because of what? Because that was the sport everybody listened to, everybody went to. It was played on the radio. There was a time horse racing was big. There was a time boxing was the biggest sport because of the stars that it has. It's now football. And this game is everywhere. There are Madden tournaments, and honestly, for ESPN does a good job of showing like the Madden E-League and stuff.
And this is the thing, and I'm not disparaging us as nerds. I'm not disparaging us as a genre. We owe a lot to competitive gaming to Madden, because Madden allowed the door to be open for people to see it and say, I can see why it's popular. And so that idea that we now have Overwatch, those games were good, and we were competitive about nerd-wise.
Yeah.
But we would have never have gotten these video game championships in America without Madden.
I can think back years ago when I was working at GameStop where we would hold video game tournaments for certain stuff. We held some video game tournaments for like Halo. We might have done Mortal Kombat. I don't think we ever did a Call of Duty just based on the timing or whatever. We might have done a couple of other fighting games. But the biggest ones that always drew the most people, and actually more people besides just video games, was always Madden.
Yep.
Because we would reach out to other partners. Like we would reach out to who the people who used to like rent TVs and stuff, and like whatever store that is. We would reach out to them to get their TVs to put them into our store to make it a big event. We would grill out and stuff like that. So I mean, those video game tournaments are always big, and they would reach out to the community more than just people playing the actual game.
Pajon J say, I've kicked people out of my house because they beat me in Madden, and also been kicked out. I have seen those. I've seen that happen.
Oh, for sure.
Damon and Strada, you're right. When it comes to ratings, the World Cup and soccer is dominant. It is the dominant sport of the world for us in America. And the reason why I say that is because it has ingratiated it. It's almost, and I hate saying it like this, but the NFL and football is like a virus. It has infected every part of every level of our society, to the point where you may not watch football, but you know who Tom Brady is. You don't even watch football, and you know who his baby mama is.
Both of them. Well, probably just the first one.
Well, the other one's his wife, so I mean, technically it is his baby mama, but
wasn't she married to him at first?
No.
Oh, that they didn't get married.
Sir, he left her while she was pregnant to get with Giselle.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's how good Tom Brady is. Tom Brady could leave his pregnant girlfriend, end up with Giselle, still be America's favorite quarterback.
People really don't talk about his stuff like that, and that is definitely true.
I mean, but so that's why I said it's not just a big when it's a big story that the Madden curse was defeated, so to speak, but it's also a big deal that Madden is a big deal to us in the nerding community, even though if you don't play it, if you play Call of Duty, if you play Halo, Madden is a part of our, it's almost like if we had a video game Hall of Fame, Madden would have its own wing in the video game Hall of Fame. And because of how it is. Now, my problem with Madden and why I stopped playing it is I got tired of buying the same damn game over and over again. If Madden, and eventually Madden is going to have to do this. What Madden is eventually going to do is eventually evolve from every year buying a physical copy. Because how many times as a running a GameStop did you have it and then you had the shelf littered with 13?
Yeah.
What's going to happen is every 5 to 10 years they'll release a physical copy. You put it on, and then you buy every year a DLC with updated players, stats. That's where I think Madden should go.
Yeah, I think they should do that. I think the issue is they're still making too much money.
Yep.
And I don't know, because they're not on a downswing yet. They continue to be profitable every year.
EA continues to make money. They continue to churn out the games. The problem is eventually that waste of making that copy of a game every year for it to go to pawn shops, used video game stores. We talked to Eric, our buddy who runs Scratch and Spin. Whenever a sports game comes in to trade, 50 cents.
Yeah.
Unless it's a big game that just came out, he's like, nope. Zaylan Maru, correct. Seasonal DLC. And as the season goes on, if EA is smart, what they should do, you play real world football. So in other words, as the season goes on, your quarterback goes down in the real world, he went down in the game.
That's the thing.
That's
available. That's
what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. Like, so you're no longer buying the physical copy. You're playing the game as the game is going on, and have that as a mode. And you can have all these different modes. But what's going to happen is you're buying seasons. You're buying DLC. And what's going to happen is that little thing that everybody hates, microtransactions, is going to come up. And that's where they need to make their money.
I was waiting for you guys to get to it. I'm glad you brought it up.
NFL 2K? NFL
2K was really good. Visual Concepts, Take-Two, all those guys did a good job with the 2K series. And it was they are the reason why Madden bought the NFL exclusive rights, because 2K was considered a better game, and they were selling it for like $20.
Yep.
I think the last 2K was $20. New season, all the rosters, everything. And
I loved
Madden
2K.
was like, oh.
When I used to play sports games, I loved 2K. I loved MLB. I loved the baseball games. And so what I used to love, and which you don't see anymore, is Tecmo Bowl, Bo Jackson. When everybody, a lot of people forget, Kobe Bryant had a video game. Everybody.
He had like 3 video games because he had Courtside 1 and 2 on 64, and then they made a Courtside some year version on GameCube.
And so that's what I think eventually we may not see it in the next 5 years, but eventually within a 10 to 15 year window, you're going to stop seeing them. They're going to announce and they're going to be like, we're losing money by making these physical copies. And what we're going to do is we're going to update the game while the game is being played. You're going to buy DLC. So basically what's going to do is you're going to have tiers. Do you want to just the regular game, whatever? They're going to make you buy the Legends part. They're going to make you buy, do you want to be an owner? They're going to make you buy, because let me tell you what's coming, which it's a longer conversation. We don't have time to get into it right now. When the NCAA eventually gets
When we get that game again?
When the NCAA finally gets off of their slave owner mentality and stop allowing the players to be getting paid off their likeness, and they open the door, and the NFL and the NCAA allow the players, you're going to be able to take a kid from college and take him all the way through playing Madden. And you're going to see that.
That already existed before they cut the NCAA.
But the thing is, they stopped doing it because they were like, we're not getting paid off the likeness.
Right.
And the suit that was brought by the kids at Northwestern, that push for these players to get paid. And you see the law that was signed in California. The NCAA could have gotten ahead of this. They refused because they wanted to keep making billions of dollars.
Right.
Now, what's really going to hurt the NCAA and the video game market, or not? I don't say the video game market. It's going to help athletes and the video game market. NACE, competitive gaming as a whole, because if you as an amateur are not a pro, can still keep your winnings if you're playing competitively video games.
Yeah.
I win $50,000 in an Overwatch tournament. Why would I go pro at this Big Ten school? That's what's going to break up the final nail in the coffin. That's going to break up the NCAA's hold on student athletes.
Yeah.
And so, we say all of that because all of that stuff is part of the whole idea of what Madden is, and it's.
You said, somebody asked, will retro games ever make it to the esports level? There are definitely people that are still playing esports. Like, I'm pretty sure there's an esports league for Windjammers. Not the new Windjammers, but the older Windjammers that came out like on Sega Genesis. And Polygon has done an article about this Tecmo Bowl that people do every year.
Yeah.
A big esports Tecmo Bowl league that people still play the original Tecmo Bowls. Yeah, it's not as big, but there are definitely esports leagues.
It's probably what it's going to be is like a niche thing where like this company or this group of people puts this on, and it's like this, and it kind of like wife carrying. Like we do those stories about in, I forget what country it is, but they do this whole thing where every year they do this competition where you carry your wife through all these different obstacles.
Yeah.
Or like log throwing. It's not big where it's on the level of, let's say, even a hockey. But it's probably you're gonna have those little things around there.
Yeah. All right. Next topic.
Damien Estrada says now that the XFL is about to start, y'all see it being the NFL.
No. Next.
The XFL will be a supplemental league to the NFL if they can make it past they need to make it past 5 seasons for the NFL to take them seriously. Because you saw the AFL or whatever that thing was that Spurrier was coaching in didn't even make it the whole season.
Yeah, I think it went like 8 weeks or something.
Yeah, they didn't even make it. So Vince McMahon has a lot of money, and we'll see this weekend how it plays out. But I give the XFL 3 to 5 seasons before it implodes.
I think Vince learned his lesson.
Vince never learns.
Vince learns. He knows how to make money.
He knows how to make money, but trying to make the XFL popular, the reason why he wanted to make it was because he thought that he saw an opening because the NFL ratings were going down. Well, ratings were down all over because people were cord cutting, which is one of the topics we're going to get into. But he did it was like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And the NFL is still king, man.
Yeah.
You making the XFL isn't a smart move. What he should have done was invested his money into competitive video games, and he should have created a league for that.
Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, I should say, is very good. I think he will be the one who will.
His name is Triple H. He is the king. Put some respect on his name.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Triple H.
I will call him. I call him. I think he will eventually take over the reins of WWE from Vince McMahon.
Him and Stephanie, Vince McMahon's daughter.
And he will kind of oversee that because he's done a whole. We're getting off topic now, but
no, keep going.
He's done a whole thing about player or wrestler wellness and athlete health and stuff more so than Vince McMahon did.
Yeah, because Vince was. I'm not going to use the words that Damian Estrada used, but I would agree with that statement.
Yeah,
and because Triple H played. He performed. He actually knows the rigors of what happened. And when Vince goes, you're going to see more of the wrestlers being taken care of. But you're going to see XFL is going to be a losing endeavor for Vince. And I think he brought it back because he tried it once before. He's going to try it again. He's going to lose billions of dollars on it.
Okay.
You heard it here first.
Next topic.
What you want to do?
I don't know.
Since we're talking about video games, let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend. Left Rockstar.
Dan Houser?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like...
He's not a legend?
Well, the thing is... I think Rockstar as a brand, people know more than the people. You know what I mean? Not like... Because like when you think of Nintendo, I think people can name Shigeru Miyamoto, who created Mario. I don't know that many people can name Dan and Sam Houser. The people that co-founded Rockstar.
This is where I guess what I was about to ask you. And we started a whole nother debate and topic with wrestling. I love that. That's what I was asking you about this story. It's a big story to us, but is it a big story out there? And is video games coming to the point where, when a person leaves a company, is that getting to the point where, like, if a GM leaves a football team, or is fired, or he retires, or he steps down, is that the same thing? Are we starting to see that now?
I know financially you're starting to see it. I own stock in Take-Two, which is the company that owns Rockstar Games. At the 52-week high for the Take-Two stock was 135. It is now at 112.59, and it dropped a lot when it was announced that Dan Houser was leaving. The backstory was, for about a year and a half, or a year and some change or so, Dan Houser, who co-founded Rockstar Games along with his brother Sam, I think his most recent title is Vice President of Creative for Rockstar.
Yep.
He took a sabbatical just to take a break.
What was the sabbatical for?
It's like a vacation.
So it wasn't like a cover story for, he wasn't burned out, he wasn't...
Who knows? I mean, he could have been, but what they said was...
I didn't know if that was...
No, he said he was taking a sabbatical to, recharge the batteries.
Okay.
Which makes sense.
Must be nice.
Yeah, I think he had just done that.
Should do that for your employees.
Right after Red Dead Redemption 2 came out. And remember a couple of years ago, we had mentioned that there was talk about crunch with Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yep.
Because they talked about, oh yeah, we worked crunch. And they were referring to management, and people got the wrong idea. Well, not the wrong idea, but an idea that maybe also people who weren't management were doing crunch too in terms of putting in overtime hours. But what what executive management was referring to was the management team putting in those hours. Dan has helped to be the lead writer for the Red Dead Redemption franchise, the Grand Theft Auto games, also Bully, and there was another game that he worked on.
I don't remember.
Yeah. So the question is Rockstar Games done? I personally don't think so, because you still have Sam Houser, who can help right that ship and help lead it where it's going to go.
Incognito says, Rockstar understands their own brand enough to hire writers and continue carrying the torch forward in accordance to what customers love about their product. Now, true, and what Rockstar does better than anybody else is they make a game and they...
support it?
How do I say this? They're known for their game, and they're not trying to make... They're not Activision... They're not Ubisoft. Where Ubisoft, every year, what do they make?
Well, they have... We going to say Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore.
They don't, but that's what they were known for. Remember, every year, new Assassin's Creed. And you have a lot of video game companies who do that. Whether it's the Call of Duty, you have where they make, and it doesn't matter if it's good or bad, make another one every year.
Yeah.
Rockstar will take any amount of time to make that one game.
Rockstar is in the same company as like your Blizzards for PC or your Naughty Dogs.
It's funny. Joe Greer mentioned Blizzard.
Yeah, I mean those type of companies are ones like they'll take as long as they want on a game, and people will wait because it's an event when they release a game.
Yep.
I remember when the first commercial for Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, people went crazy for it.
Oh yeah.
The game came out in 2013.
Still making money off.
Yeah, it's 2020 now. It's still on the top 20 NPD bestsellers list. 7 years running, which is wild. They continue to support the GTA Online mode for free. You can download these patches and stuff and these expansions for free, and they get you through microtransactions, which people are happy to pay for because the content's so good.
Now, this is a question you mentioned. A question to you. What does that mean that he's leaving for the company? Because Incognito says they should be okay, but you just mentioned stock prices. And we all know, at the end of the day, what makes the world go round?
Money.
Yep.
Stocks.
I thought you were going to say love, but I was like, man, you get your...
No, man.
Money makes the world go round. So what's next for them? Like, how do you combat that?
I think it's gonna they're gonna have to prove that they can still make stuff, because the thing is, he's been gone for a year and a half already. It wasn't official. So in the process of them making these DLCs for Red Dead Redemption 2 for Grand Theft Auto 5, that was still done with the other team and the other brother Sam Houser. So they have the blueprint of how to make stuff. The big question I have is,
can they make something new?
Well, yeah, is GTA 6 ever going to come out? A while ago, somebody asked Dan about GTA 6, and you guys can find the exact quote, but he said he doesn't even know how he would make GTA 6 because the world is so... It's such a farce now, he doesn't even know how he would satire it or lampoon it.
Oh, yeah.
Because GTA games are known about being satires of the real world.
Over the top, yeah.
And he's just like, so I'm just making a real world game now? So he was like, he doesn't even know how he would do it.
And so it's interesting you said that, because Ty Williams just said, since he's been gone for almost a year, Rockstar should have had time to adjust to his absence. Plus, Rockstar tells the industry when they release, the industry doesn't tell them. You're right. But if your creative genius has left and you're prepping for your next big event, who can you keep the ship going, or do you need to bring somebody in?
I think in the short term, I think they're fine. As they brought up, he's been gone for a while and they've been going fine. It's just that it's kind of, I almost feel like this has been in the works for a while, and they just tried to figure out when they needed to announce this.
Okay.
Because they announced it right before their Q3 2019 or 2020, 2019. I don't know, the third quarter earnings call. They announced it right before that. That should have
been what? August?
Right it's something to, yeah.
Right, but August, November, because what, isn't fourth quarter starts in November? Or October,
no, because fourth quarter is the year ahead of the other.
Yeah, so it's like...
I don't know financial stuff, but they announced it before their most recent quarterly earnings call.
So is this, I guess my question is, and this is something I put to the chat because I would love to hear from them. Are these guys, and hopefully girls, going to be on the level, like a GM, like a head coach, to where we're going to be seeing them and they are stars in their own right? Because we're starting to see a little bit more of our genre, of our industry evolving to, we're having video game awards. We're seeing these people not only have to do the things like make a game, they've got to be spokespersons, they've got to be pitch people, they've got to be able to do the walk and talk like you see in sports.
Yeah.
When you see upper management have to do these things.
Well, we're seeing with like a lot of game companies, Cliff Bleszinski, the guy who gave us, was it Jackrabbit Jazz or whatever, some weird game. He helped create Gears of War. Before he left Epic and founded his own company, he had talked about making game developers stars. That was a big thing he had pushed for. He left Epic and started his own company. I think it was Boss Key Studio. They were the ones who gave us Lawbreakers. Yeah, I say that, and I'm saying it out loud.
I was like, he asking you.
I'm saying it out loud, but also your response is perfect because nobody really played Lawbreakers, or was it Rule Breakers? I don't know. It was some type of a game like a Battleborn type thing. Nobody played it. He's kind of just sitting in the back burner, not doing much anything there now. But he's got bukus of money from working at Epic Forever, helping create Gears of War. He's fine. The guy who was running and made the most recent Gears of War, Gears 5, Rod Ferguson, who runs the Coalition, has now left the Coalition. And on Twitter, there was kind of a back and forth with Cliff Bleszinski, who said, "Hey, now that Rod's left, you guys can come back and I'll work for you, Microsoft, on giving you some tips on how to move the Gears franchise forward, because there was a lot of ideas left on the table that Rod didn't use." A lot of people took that as him throwing shade. I'm kind of iffy on whether it's shade or not. But I bring all this up to say is that we're seeing more personalities within the game development world, individual people. Like you're hearing more about your Rod Fergusons, you're hearing about your Cliff Bleszinskis. We always talk about Hideo Kojima all the time.
Yeah, but he's not the only one.
Right, there are more people out there.
Like for me, I wish I'd have remembered his name for this conversation. One of my favorite games is Dead Space. And there's a video, I'm trying to remember what this guy's name is. Glenn Schofield.
Yeah.
He has a 20-minute video talking about how he and the guys made Dead Space and the things that you're starting to see that. Is that because, and we'll guys, I'm gonna get to some of these things, so I want Michael to answer this because yes, about soundtracks. Is this because we are seeing, because we have 24-hour news networks, because we have so many different outlets, so many different things where information can get out, and we as nerds have communicated and connected, and we're wanting more things? Is that the reason why we're seeing these people being elevated to stars? Because our industry is evolving?
I think so.
Because our industry is evolving to the point where it has always bothered me, and I'm going to be honest with you, my ultimate goal is for us to take over the nerd world, or at least have a large share of it. But you're starting
with your help, we can do it.
Help us, help you, take over the world.
I say help us, help you, help us. Yeah.
But if you look at it, you have outlets like IGN. You have your guys Kinda Funny. You have Game Informer. You have these different things, but we don't have an ESPN. We don't have a Fox Sports.
We had it in G4, kinda.
But G4 was still in that bro-y, girls jumping on trampolines kind of thing. From
The Man Show?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was in that era. Mm-hmm. We're now in an era where we're now reporting. You're going to get it's called VEN, a video game entertainment pop culture nerd network that premieres in 2020. Is that part of it as well? We've evolved as a culture. As an industry, we've evolved.
I think the more spotlight shined in the video game world and pop culture world, the better overall will be. Mm-hmm. I think it puts more people to act as watchdogs and guardians, so people don't act a fool. I mean, people are always going to act a fool, but you have more people kind of being like, hey, this is weird, whatever. We still got to get our S together, as it were. Yeah. But the more people are able to influence, I think the stronger it grows overall.
I think also because of the money. But I want to ask you this. Zaylin Maru says Apple without Jobs is just another phone every year. Hope Rockstar doesn't end up the same. Is that because Apple has now pivoted from being this innovative company with phones to where Samsung has caught them to the point where they realize they're seeing their stock and their shares drop as they lose ground to Google, to Samsung, to the point where they've now jumped into, we need a streaming service.
Yeah. Zaylin, I would say I hope Rockstar doesn't do that. And right now, we don't have any evidence to show that they are going to do that because, again, even when he was there, they were still only doing Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead for 6 or 7 years at a time. So we kind of need to see whatever their next game is going to be, if it's going to be GTA 6. Personally, I would love a Rockstar Presents Table Tennis 2. I really love the first one on Xbox 360. Oh, man, that game was great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess that's one of the things, and I wanted to get to this because I really love this. Zayla Naru also brought up Vice City had one of the best soundtracks ever, but someone asked, what do you guys think about soundtracks? And I'm guessing Joe Greer is asking, are you guys fans of soundtracks of these games, Grand Theft Auto, or soundtracks in games in general? Personally,
yes and yes.
I did not, I played Grand Theft Auto. It wasn't one of those games I was just like, yeah. I was a little overwhelmed by all the choice.
Yeah.
I do own video game soundtracks. One of my favorite soundtracks of all time has to be Deus Ex Machina, or Deus Ex for the PS3.
Okay.
I bought that soundtrack. I also bought the new Deus Ex soundtrack. I also own soundtracks for The Witcher, The Witcher 3. I own soundtracks for quite a few video games. And I own soundtracks on vinyl. Okay. I'm like, I've done that.
One of the first soundtracks, one of the first CDs I ever bought was the video game soundtrack for Star Fox 64 and Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, with their MIDI tunes off the cartridges. Well. Yeah, I bought those. I got the whole discography for GTA Vice City, I'm pretty sure it was, and Chrono Trigger. I love Chrono Trigger. My favorite game of all time, and I love the music in that. Yeah.
So this is another thing. Guys, I love X-Play too, Ray Sean K. I loved X-Play.
Adam Sessler, man. I know he still does stuff, and I don't follow him as much.
Not to the point where G4.
Right. Yeah, but it's just fun to see him pop up and stuff because he was so articulate. And I think he was a good representative of video games overall. He was able to speak about them passionately and he could talk to us about it, but also talk to like your grandma and be like, oh, this is why you might find it interesting.
He can explain. He was the perfect example of why these things are important.
Yeah.
Deus Ex, Zayla Maru, Deus Ex Human Revolution, yes.
I also enjoyed Morgan Webb. I thought she was good as well.
Yes.
And when G4 became Attack of the Show, with Kevin Pereira and Olivia Munn, I thought they were fine.
I thought they were good too.
Yeah.
If you go back and watch clips, there are some cringy moments a little bit, but for the time it came out, I thought it was really good. This is one thing that I will say. Ty Williams brings up a great point. Also, nerds have grown up and become the CEOs of major corporations and aren't hiding their love of nerd culture anymore.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it. The guys and girls who grew up on Super Mario, who grew up on Sonic, those people are now adults, reintroducing their kids to the things that they love, but also they're the driving force behind some of these companies.
Yes.
So you have an audience that treats these as real properties and not just content to make money off of. Yes, you want to make money, but we talked about it, and and keep in mind, we're not denigrating Final Fantasy VII. But Final Fantasy VII meant a lot to a lot of people.
For sure.
We looked at the video critically and it's like, how is this going to translate to new fans? They're retranslating that game, spending hundreds of millions of dollars into this game, so that they can basically recreate the same game that they released 20 years ago. That took y'all. Y'all did that. So that's one of the things I think that ties into Ty Williams' point. I saw what I just did there.
So our thesis of this whole thing is Rockstar Games done? No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Next topic.
Next topic is so guys.
Did you have a stroke? What happened?
No, I was trying to do a beat, but it didn't come out.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, I'm not one of those guys who Anyway.
Give a drum roll?
Yeah, that thing.
Okay.
So if you watched the Super Bowl, you saw the 30-second big game spot for the new Disney Plus shows. You saw our first look at WandaVision, the Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Loki. I had a hunch they were going to do a 30-second. I knew they weren't going to do probably more, because why would they spend millions of dollars during the Super Bowl for longer, each one getting their own trailer, basically just saying, hey, don't forget about us. I thought it was a good, get everybody hyped, reminding everybody that we're still around.
So give you guys a little bit of backstory. When that commercial premiered in our text chain with you, me, Lauren, Avery, some guys you've seen on the channel before, we either Lauren or myself were like, "Did y'all see that?" And we all kind of responded like, "Yeah." And I think Lauren might have been the one to say it because I responded like, "This got me back into Disney Plus again," because I still have Disney Plus. I don't plan on canceling it because they got that sweet spot of $6.99 where I don't really notice it coming out every month. I don't watch it as much as I did once The Mandalorian was over, but this got me reminding me again, oh yeah, Disney Plus is going to have those Marvel shows, and I'm excited to see them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
For me, I had a feeling.
Maybe. I sent you a text that said maybe.
Yeah, but...
So the voice you're hearing, the disembodied voice, is our sports director, Reggie Anderson. You saw him if you go back, shameless plug, and watch our review of the Shazam trailer.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't that.
I never did go see that movie, by the way.
Fantastic.
Terrible.
Fantastic.
But I have watched the original.
You should watch the movie.
Can I have extra time tonight? You're down here doing this, and you're not concentrating on your full-time job, which is the 11 p.m. show, so I can help you out.
This is going to be our full-time job. That is the goal. This right here is going to be our full-time job.
Then give me 8 minutes tonight instead of 6. Come on.
Well, maybe.
You going to disappoint those people watching right now?
Hold on.
Yeah.
You get 8 as long as Jordan Birch isn't in it or Hammond.
I can't promise you that.
Don't listen to that.
I can't promise you that.
Don't listen to
That's
that.
not happening.
If you can give us a Hammond-free Jordan Birch show.
If he gives me only 40 seconds tonight, 35 of this will be Jordan Birch.
You could probably have 6. It's fine.
Guys, that's our sports director. What we're arguing about is time in the show for each block and segment. So that's what happens on a normal basis.
All right, where are we at?
We're talking about Disney Plus.
Disney Plus,
talking about not getting you not getting rid of it if you have the service. Disney Plus moved up the release dates to help. Marvel and Disney moved up the release dates of these movies and shows to help them fill out some of the content on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Because if it's not a Marvel show or a Star Wars show, they don't really promote anything else on the channel.
Imaginarium they hadn't promoted.
Yeah, and I enjoyed Imaginarium.
Jeff, like they promoted all this stuff before it came out.
Yeah.
But I don't see commercials for Jeff Goldblum's show. I don't see commercials for Encore. I don't see any of that.
High School Musical season 1 wrapped up, and they're doing a new musical. It's going to be Beauty and the Beast. They talked about it maybe on social media, but I don't really see. And to be fair, they probably haven't shot anything, so they can't really promote it that well. But yeah, other shows they're not really talking about.
And that's where I'm wondering, do they not know what they're doing? Only in the sense of we live in an age where the narrative of a thing is important. Mm-hmm. And the narrative right now is, go ahead.
Well, I was looking at this comment. Have heard, who's it? Boundless Book Owl says, have heard Gargoyles creator says, if the show is popular enough on Disney Plus, we could get more new episodes.
Correct. And I'll be honest with you, that's
bring back Keith David and bring back Goliath, please.
Me and my wife have been talking about this, and I said, if they Disney Plus, Disney with Disney Plus, they do things that are smart and they do things that are stupid. And I'm trying to figure out who's in charge, because one of the things, Disney Plus didn't lie to us. Disney Plus told us exactly what was going to be on this platform as soon as it launched. They didn't lie and say, well, we'll have this, we'll have that. They had a long list of things that was coming to the network, to their platform, and they had dates next to them. They launched it with The Mandalorian, which created an entire buzz. They got all these different subscribers, which was great. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, those Marvel shows weren't coming until 2021, 2022, 2023.
Yeah.
Another thing which I told people that a lot of people asked, no one was asking for these remakes, these live action remakes. No, they weren't. Disney had a long-term plan. We're going to make these live action remakes. They're going to make a buttload of money. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be exclusive on what? Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So that all these things that you saw, Disney made $10 billion last year. Just on movies.
Yeah, just films.
Just on 6 or 7 films. That's not including merchandise. That's not including theme parks. That's not including DVD sales, Blu-ray sales. That's not movies. That's what they made in just movies. All of that was in preparation for Disney Plus. The reason why I say I wonder why they're stupid is because if you want to keep people on your service, you have to concede that you don't have a lot, but your narrative has to be is we're always updating this platform. We're always bringing new content. And Disney is in the business of hoarding stuff.
Yeah.
They've never been in the business of making a lot of things.
Bob Iger has said that they are definitely a quality over quantity company, which is, I mean, he didn't say it, but it seems like a shot at Netflix, because Netflix is probably quantity over quality in terms of just releasing stuff all the time that you can't even keep up.
Yep.
I'm sure there's a bunch of shows we don't even know about that are good.
Oh yeah.
That
I haven't watched Fauda.
I don't even know what that is.
It's basically like a Israel 24.
That sounds awesome.
It's like Mossad agents.
Yeah. Okay.
I like it. It's in my queue.
Yeah.
I hadn't gotten around to it.
Yeah.
Or Mossad with Anyway, there's a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. So what? So let's get back to the talking about these 3 shows.
Yes.
What do we think we're gonna get out of the Falcon and Winter Soldier show?
The Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think, is probably. This is where Marvel and Disney are smart. The question is, did they rush it? I think each of these series are going to be the threads that connects this phase to the next phase.
Yeah.
So the Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to basically be your Captain America. Think of it like comic books. Mm-hmm. You have your Avengers or your big Civil War, your House of M, the Kree and Skrull War, your Secret Invasion. Those are your summer blockbuster comics. Your everyday comic series is Captain America. Mm-hmm. Your Falcon. That's what these shows are.
Okay. Like the little things are tied to like the big crossover things.
Well, these are your ongoing series.
Okay.
So your ongoing series is going to be your TV shows. That's your regular, old-fashioned, regular comic books. The movies and your Avengers, those are your blockbuster summer events. Mm-hmm. Some of them will be, your regular one-shots and stuff like that. Each one of these shows, I think, is going to continue the thread of the Marvel Universe is strong. It's almost like the State of the Union. The state of the Marvel Universe is strong, and we will, the economy's great, all that other stuff. Each one of these shows is going to explore a different theme that the movie will be the big spectacle for.
Yeah.
That sets up the next movie. They've basically built Captain America to be the sentinel of freedom and what is right. Mm-hmm. What happens when he's no longer here? Corporations and governments are going to step in to fill that void. Right. But here are these 2 guys.
And that's how you get, who's it, the Patriot guy or whatever?
U.S. Patriot.
U.S. Patriot, yeah.
So you got somebody who, the man wants to be Captain America because they can control him.
Right.
Then you have these 2 guys who lived, eat, breathed, sweated Captain America with him, fought with him, died with him. Right. And they're like, that's not what Cap would do. Cap wouldn't stand. So you have these 2 warring ideologies. That's what I think the Falcon and Winter Soldier will be. Okay.
What do we think about WandaVision?
WandaVision.
That is the one I'm most excited for, only because I don't know what it is.
WandaVision is going to be, a lot of people are speculating. Ray Sean K brings up House of M. Ken from Chicago, I did see The Witcher. I liked it. I had some issues. Shameless plug. We have a review up. But I did like it. I cannot wait for season 2. Depends on when it comes out. Probably ain't coming to work. Because I'm just going to binge it. WandaVision, speculation, we don't know, is basically going to tie directly into Doctor Strange. Wanda, go ahead.
Well, you say, and I know they've said that before.
They've said that.
And it's curious, like, what does that mean now that it's moving up, though? Because before, wasn't Doctor Strange the movie going to come out before WandaVision?
I thought they were coming at the same time.
Were they? Okay.
I'm not sure.
I'm just curious what that means now in terms of timeline stuff.
Joe Greer, no, Sam didn't lose the shield. There's 2 different shields. Sam has a shield, and then the U.S. Patriot has another shield. WandaVision is going to be... This is where the speculation comes in. In the comics, Wanda is one of the most powerful mutants and one of the most dangerous mutants because she has time reality powers. In the series, when the Avengers disassemble, Wanda loses her mind and loses control of her powers and basically kills some Avengers. She kills Hawkeye, she kills the Vision, destroys the Avengers mansion. It all goes to hell in a handbasket. Wanda reappears after that. The Avengers and the X-Men get together, which is what's called House of M, to confront Wanda. The X-Men want to save her. The Avengers want to, if they have to, take her out. Mm-hmm. Because you cannot have a person who's not in control of all her faculties in charge of reality warping powers.
Sure.
Wanda loses it and says, and basically gives her father what he always wanted. A mutant utopia where mutants were the dominant species and humans were subservient. Mm-hmm. After they crack this reality, which is called House of M, where Magneto is all in charge, and Wanda says one sentence because she is so angry, because she feels like she never got her father's love and attention because he was always after this cause. Quicksilver dies. Mm-hmm. She's about to go, and she says, "No more mutants." And there are only 200 mutants left. The rest of them lose all their mutant powers, which devastates the mutant community, mm-hmm. which then makes them endangered. There's a whole comic series called The 199. It was amazing. This is where the speculation comes in. Iron Man said, and Vision echoed it, she is the most powerful thing, but she is a child, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And so they had to watch her. And if you remember, it was Civil War.
Yeah.
WandaVision is the beginning of the descent of her mental illness. To the point where you see Vision is back. Wanda in the
comics, see babies.
Wanda in the comics created her own children. Mm-hmm. Wiccan and...
It's okay. You don't gotta know. We know you're a nerd. It's fine. I know. We know.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's fine.
Guys, I'm sorry. I let you down.
Yeah.
She creates her own children. Mm-hmm. The Children's Crusade, Young Avengers. This show could be the entrance, a lot of people are thinking, through Doctor Strange, the introduction of Phase 5 and mutants. In other words, you could do Wanda as the next new... Reason why you've never heard who the next big bad guy is because Marvel could be going in a whole different direction and say, yeah, we had a big bad. What if your big bad was one of you?
Right.
So in other words, that's the speculation. No one knows. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Ken. Speed. Thank you. No one knows exactly where they're going. We know WandaVision is supposed to be the wildest, weirdest show ever.
Man, it just looks, every scene looked like a different sitcom, yes. And it was cool because you saw like mm-hmm. a Leave It to Beaver set, you saw like a I Love Lucy type thing, you saw a Happy Days vibe, all different decades. I'm just excited to see where that show goes, and it has so many people that I want to see back. Kat Dennings. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Who was the guy who was in Ant-Man and the Wasp? Who was the agent?
Which one?
Asian man.
Fresh Off the Boat.
Yes, but I can't think of his name. I want to say his name.
I don't want to say his name because you'll accuse me of being racist. Because I always say the other guy's name.
Okay, well then don't say his name.
Because I always say the guy from Law and Order.
B.D. Wong?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not.
It's
B.D.
not
Wong.
him, but it's.
I don't know. You guys will tell us in the chat. But he's supposed to be back. Also, Rambeau, right?
Yep.
Monica Rambeau. Monica Rambeau's supposed to be in it, so I'm excited about that.
So all right. That's why I said. So that's why WandaVision is the one everybody's like, what's gonna happen in this show? Because
Randall Park.
Oh man, I was not gonna guess that.
Yeah, Randall Park.
You know what I was thinking?
What?
Benedict
Wong?
Yeah. I thought that was his name.
No, that's Wong.
I know, but I was thinking, when you said it, I saw Randall Park, but all I could hear in my head was Benedict Wong. And I was, because sorry guys, I've been trying to find Deadly Class. Somebody without paying for it.
Yeah.
And then you have Loki.
Yeah, Loki.
Loki is caught by the time variance. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. My nerd skills has been lacking today. Low blood sugar.
TVA was it?
TVA. So the time variance. Basically, remember the testicle-looking guy in Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
That's basically who caught it.
Yeah, they're the time police.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
When he was like, when when they disrupted reality, that's who they are.
So this we think is probably the 2012 Loki from Avengers, who got the cube in Endgame and has been messing around doing whatever. And it's just
time variance authority. Thank you. Oh, thank God. Oh, it's killing me.
And he is just running amok in Marvel Universe.
It's Loki during different time. It's Loki throughout the multiverse.
Do we think we're going to see female Loki?
I've
heard the rumor.
I've heard the rumor. I know we're going to get a young Loki. Mm-hmm. So there is Journey into the Mystery. There is Loki has changed his appearance, his form. What I'm hoping is this is Loki at his Lokiest.
Okay.
And I'm hoping this is where Loki comes out, and like how he was the big bad in Avengers. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping this is Loki as the real trickster who you never know what side he's going to be on, because I'm hoping in this show Loki jumps ahead, sees himself become a good guy, and is like, F that. Because he's
going to try everything to be against that?
I think he's going to be, when I did the wrong thing, in other words, I think this is the I find myself show. I'm not going to be totally bad, and I'm not going to be totally good. He's going to be chaotic neutral.
Okay.
And that's where he pops in, and he can help a villain out, and then he pops out, and then it's like, oh, what? And he's basically just having a blast. That's what I'm hoping this show is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one is in October, right?
First one is August.
Right.
Well, Falcon and Winter Soldier is in August. WandaVision, December. Loki, 2021.
Yeah, and the one thing we didn't talk about, Mandalorian, is in October.
And then Mandalorian comes back season 2 in October.
Okay.
Now, this is the thing. Y'all were upset because the Mandalorian was short.
We know 6 episodes. I'm wondering how long these episodes are. Oh, give me like an hour and a half episode each time. That would be great. Do like Sherlock did and give me like almost a movie for each episode. Mm-hmm. I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things I will say is, Juan. I'll get to him in a second because I'll let you guys see his comment. Juan Arisis. I'll address that comment real quick. Football is the greatest sport video game. You guys high in competitive gaming stems from first-person shooters like Doom and Unreal as fighting games. Juan, let me give you a little history lesson. I can understand first-person shooter games, you being very on board with those. You would not get first-person shooter games the amount of access and coverage that they get now with Counter-Strike, with those things, CSGO, without Madden opening the door and making video game culture pop culture. Those games are great. I love those games. I play them. Got a lot of friends. Madden opened the door for that because it allowed people who never would have considered those things to actually stop and be like, oh, it's just like Madden. If you want your grandmother to understand competitive video game, you explain Madden to her, and then she gets it. Mm-hmm. So that's where we can agree to disagree. I believe if you don't understand that, then you're high, and I would expect you to understand that, but you got to put it down first before you realize. Mandalorian, when it comes out, I think may cause problems again for Disney. I don't think Disney Plus. I don't think Winter Soldier and the Falcon is going to do it. I don't think Loki's going to crash. I think when season 2 of The Mandalorian drops, it is going to crash their Disney Plus server.
Interesting.
I think they're not going to see... I hope that they understand what they did by making the Baby Yoda show. That's the one thing I think Disney Plus. That's why I said I wonder. On one hand, they're very smart. I think they're highly intelligent, and on the other hand, I think they underestimate people wanting more content, people wanting more things on it, and the fervor that they have created in The Mandalorian.
Okay.
So,
wrap it up.
I ain't got nothing else, man.
I know. I'm saying wrap it up.
Okay, cool.
Tell these people bye.
Hey, man. These are people.
I got it, as Reggie has already told him, I got an 11 to finish.
So you can just give him 8 minutes as long as Jordan Birch ain't in it.
I
So guys, that was our Disney Plus topic today. Appreciate you guys coming on board. We're gonna try to make sure we do these every Friday, but you know, stuff happens. Luckily, the weather calmed down, so we were able to do this. I want to say a shout out to. Hold on, I want to go through some of these things. Loki isn't going to be immoral, but amoral. Yeah, I agree with you, Ken. I think he's going to definitely be amoral. Look out for number one. I don't think he's going to be, you know, a bad guy, but I think he's going to be that. He's going to be the trickster god that we see in the comics, where you never know exactly what side he's going to be on. So I want to say shout out to you guys, Ken from Chicago, Ray Sean K, Joe Greer. I did see episodes of The Night Manager. I hadn't finished The Night Manager. Let's see. Hold on, I'm going to get to everybody here. Damien Estrada. Why our keyboard not working? Pejan J. Juan Arisis. Thanks for joining us. Joe Greer. I want to say Boundless Book. Hold on, I want to make sure I get it right. Ryan Porter. Ryan Porter, hold on. I'm going to have to write this show down because you just recommended Haji. Is that what it's called? Check out Girl Haji on Netflix. I'm writing that down now. Girl Haji. Let's see. Ty Williams. Boundless Book Owl. Rayshawn K. Did I say Ryan Porter? Zaylin Maru.
Ken from Chicago.
Ken from Chicago said that. Paulie D. Pope Platinum. What's up? I should like write these down as they show up. Pejan J.
You ready to say all these names? Stop talking.
I thought I didn't. Edward Sanchez Productions. I mean, I don't want to leave nobody out.
You should write them down.
I really was about to throw the spin at you just now.
You throw the pen.
IMAX, CB Hunts. I think that's it. So guys,
Incognito?
Oh, Incognito. Thank you. See, you were no help. You know that, right?
I just told you one that you didn't say.
Yeah, but then you were like mocking me with the whole write it down thing. All right. So guys, we'll say thank you. Have a good weekend. Also go see the movie Birds of Prey. Oh man, I'm getting old. We'll have a review up later. We liked it, but we'll break it down for you. All right, guys, have a good one. Peace.